good morning, good evening, good night, good whatever time of day, wherever it is that you're at right now. And welcome back, guys. I missed you. Today, um, it's just another day, right? But it doesn't have to be just another day. Sometimes it can be another day in the right direction, and it can always be another day in the wrong direction, or just be another day of stagnation. It really all just kind of depends on your prerogative, your inspiration, and kind of where you are in life at that point in time. But today I ask, what are the embarrassing parts of who we once were? It's a pretty out there kind of question, but I don't say it without a specific meaning behind it. Basically, if I haven't done it already, am going to be in the process of basically cleaning up my channel's old content. I go through my old videos from time to time, and I'm not talking about like the more recent things. I'm talking about the things like a decade old. And quite frankly, the person I was way back then, 15 or less years ago, I hardly even know that guy. Like, there are parts of him that are definitely still me, but overall, it's like it's an entirely different beast that's going on at this point. And I didn't think, mind you, you don't think it's so bad until you like click play and the intro goes like, oh wow, that intro was something a product of its time, definitely. But then you hear your voice and you're like, whoa, I used to sound like that. Do I still sound like that? And that's just assuming you got a normal one. But I had videos where I would try to basically dual commentate, where basically it was like a one-man show type of thing. I would record myself talking to myself in two different personas, and the idea was to kind of play off of each other. It was kind of inspired off of the whole death battle with Boomstick and Wiz, except I had Bob and JD, who were inspired by a comic that I written, um, where they were basically commentating pigeons. But it was definitely a different time back then. But that's not so bad. Like I can live with the embarrassment. It's the choice of dialogue that I partake or partook in, and basically moving forward with the Atlashine channel, the Atlashine brand, I'd like it to be something that's more courteous and open and inviting towards everybody, more or less. And I don't think I was ever like overtly offensive, but I do feel like I did have some language that may have been isolating towards certain people just based off of like just in general, just like like cursed up a storm type stuff, and that's kind of not the future that I want for the channel. And so basically, the short version goes is I'm not going to delete them because they're still a part of who I am, but I am going to privatize the vast majority of basically all the Pokemon content and anything else that I deem doesn't quite align with my current direction with life and with the channel. And it is what it is. But the hope is that we will get a product that is just much more appropriate to who I am for the most part. Just getting rid of any of the more unsightly parts. It's kind of like, think of it like cleaning up your room at your house, right? But you do so sometimes. Sometimes you just do it because it's dirty, but then there's other times you do it because you don't have room for the cool new things that are on the way. Now, somebody could make the pragmatic argument of like, well, Atlashine, like YouTube's like infinite, like the internet's infinite. You always have room for more stuff, and I say yes, it's true, but I don't have room in my image for some of those older things. And I mean, my goodness, like that's ultimately what it comes back to, because I'm not afraid that anything that I once said might get me. What's the bogeyman these days? Oh, I hope I don't get canceled. No, I'm not concerned about any of that, because like in reality, if it's an adult talking to me and they were to criticize me on choices I made in my past, I tell them that, it's my past. I own it. It is what it is. It happened. But in terms of if it's somebody who is more young or impressionable, is checking out my content, I don't want my newer stuff to be a giant red arrow that points them in the direction to some of the more unsightly and unsavory things that I may have partaking in the past. And mind you, this is just broad statement right now. I can't point to any particular moment specifically that is coming to mind, but I have clicked a few videos here so and there so, and well, let me tell you, like, quite frankly, I know it would surprise anybody else if they heard it, because it surprises me to hear it coming out of my own mouth. And yeah, like, it's one of those things, like nowadays, if somebody were to, like, they hear that, they might ask the question, like, is that AI? Did somebody AI my voice? It's like, no, boomer, it's not that. That's just what was said. But let me know, guys. Like, is there anything specifically in your past that you might deem embarrassing? Is there some sort of old habit, or maybe there's a story that has been hidden away? And mind you, like, I completely understand. Also, like, first and foremost, I feel everybody has that story. For anybody to be like, I've never had an embarrassing moment at any point in my life, I will trust in the better part of your character that you're not lying, but also at the same time, bro, why are you lying? Like, you get where I'm coming from. But feel free to share that. Like I got like a whole plethora of stories from all sorts of my lifetime that are just like, here's the crazy part. Like, I chose the word "who we once were." It's a two-sided statement right there. Who we once were. It implies that we're not that person anymore, but in reality, we still are that person to a degree. It's just we've grown around that. Like, the plant isn't the seed anymore, but the parts of the seed are still somewhere incorporated into the plant, right? So, just because I grew up and I know better and I live an entirely different life does not mean that the person from those videos is not still the same person, fundamentally speaking. Yeah, my core values and morals have changed, definitely for the better. But that person is still exists. It's still a part of me. Like, think about it this way. Like, I once did something bad. Everybody can say that. I once did something bad. Whether it's, you got into a fight, or you accidentally shoplifted something, or maybe you accidentally said something rude to somebody. Everybody can say that they've done something bad. Does that mean that they are bad people? No, by no means, because it's like, to me, doing a bad thing does not inherently make somebody bad. But if you have bad characteristics, then that is what makes you bad. And it's all about kind of like working through those things. There's people who are, I think the litmus test for us for deciding whether somebody is bad or not is whether or not they make a habit out of doing bad things. If somebody does something bad, but they are instantly remorseful of it, then we wouldn't call them bad people. We just say that they're probably good people who made a mistake at some point in their life, and we just kind of understand that. Now, there's people who will be much more forthcoming about doing bad things, and those are more or less, like, I hate to use the term so directly, but it's the most apt way of describing them. Those are bad people. Now, just because go like full circle, just because you've done something bad does not inherently make you a bad person, is what I was saying, right? Implying that, like, so I've had times in my past where I have said or done things that I might not necessarily be too proud of. I can say I'm definitely not too proud of, but they happen. They're part of who I was, and the reason why I can say now that I understand what is good is because I've done what is fundamentally bad. And I can say that, okay, I know the difference between bad and good. And there's a lot of people who, quite frankly, might not be able to say that. There's a lot of people who might look at that statement and say like oh well, I never learned. It happens. There's people who don't learn. I I, I don't want to say that they're necessarily bad people. By definition, yeah, maybe they are, but maybe they're just slow people or people who are just stubborn. I don't know. I don't know how to describe them, but I will own up to these things if anybody were to bring them up. If somebody were to say like let's say I privatize all my old videos, if somebody took the time to actually stockpile them, thinking, haha, one of these days he's gonna get famous, and I'm gonna cancel him with this statement. I will, you know, happily own up to whatever it is that they might say or bring against me. They say like, oh well, you once made a video where you said or did this. I'm like, you're right, I did. And that's kind of the end of it. It's just like it is something that I did. It's where I was, and I moved from that. Now I'm at a point where I have a completely different mindset on things. Right? I'm trying to do things a little bit different, more so. I'm trying to do things a little bit better, and as long as the future of the channel is separate from the past transgressions, I believe would be the term, then it's important to simply, you know, uh, uh, work accordingly. So I don't know. I'm probably prattling right now, but that's kind of the long and short of it. Um, the long and short of it. But yeah, I'm trying to think. That's an interesting little pullover jacket. I like that. Ooh, and the Explorer shorts. I love the Explorer shorts. They're like one of my preferred shorts to wear. Bro, I look so silly, but I like it so much. Like, I ain't even tripping right now. I'm digging this. Oh, and the sneakers. Oh man, look at us go. I almost look like a clown, but I don't care. I like it. I think this is it. Not that though. Definitely not that. Oh man. But yeah, we're gonna wear this. I am gonna buy an extra outfit, but we're just gonna send that one home. Just get some of the cleaner stuff. You know, gotta get that slick look too. Which usually would just kind of be like, you know, you might just get like that with one of those, and then you just get the periwinkers or winkle perries. They go with it. Get that nice snazzy look. But we're not gonna wear that. I'm wearing the chill stuff. But yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just, if you were to ask me, I'll say, yeah, that's who I once was. That's what I did. Did I say those things? Yeah, of course I said those things. I'm not gonna deny that I said those things. But if my channel is a beacon to hopefully like inspire and motivate people and get them to come take a look, see what we got going on, I don't want it to be something that highlights, you know, the worst parts of my journey. It's one of those things that like you don't want to keep revisiting those things. Like think of the worst case scenario. Think of people who've done some of the most heinous things in their lifetime. And do I think that they are terrible people? No. I mean, well, it depends. Everyone's different. It depends. There are some people who might do some things that are definitely like, when we're talking like heinous, like really bad. Like, I'm not going to go into depth about what I would deem is just like actual terrible things in people, but I'm not going to say that they don't exist. I'm not prepared to call anybody out by name. I don't actually think I know anybody by name personally. There are plenty of people who we may have seen in the news at some point in time who we can definitely make that statement and say, it's like, oh yeah, that guy is that guy was the worst. Can you believe what he did or she did or whatever? And those are just the little things, really. Um, I don't know these people personally, like I'm saying, and come on, little cricky. Oh man, I'm so bad. But what was I saying? I was just saying that like I don't know them personally, so I couldn't tell you because like think about it like this way: like every terrible person you've ever heard of always has friends or family members who could tell you the best possible story about them. And at the end of the day, those stories are often true. They're true. And because the stories are true, that means, does that mean this person, like are we being lied to about this person? Are they, like, is it like the media trying to slander and ruin their reputation? I'd say yes and no. There are definitely people in the media who would love to ruin someone's reputation, but I would say that every single iteration of that is true. I mean, oftentimes what you hear is you hear the actual honest to goodness true story about who they are, and it's just that's the unfortunate truth regarding it all. But it's that moment where I get to the end of a breath and I get that moment of clarity where I then think and I have no idea what the direction I was talking. But assuming I am motivated enough to do that, I usually record these episodes a little bit in advance. By the time this goes up, I probably already would have given it a nice deep scrubbing. But if you are fortunate enough to have missed out on any of my old Pokemon content, the TLDR is I played back on the 5th generation. I had been a part of a small community, and that's kind of where I got my big start in the whole content creation sphere, and it was fun. The videos were slow, so I'd play them at twice double speed, and they were never recorded. Not recorded. They were never narrated live, because I had to run it at 2 times speed. Otherwise, it'd be like way too slow. Like I don't want to have like 25 minutes of gameplay. That's just feels like it drags on. So what I would do is I would just put it into the system, speed it up times 2, and then I would record that recording. And for some reason, it was always at the perfect speed at that point in time. And there's 3 different types of videos I would say that I did. There was the aforementioned Bob and JD videos where, you know, I'd be over there, it's like, hey guys, this is JD, and I'm Bob, and stuff like that. And it was, oh man, it was terrible. Oh, my voice, it hurts just trying that right now. Maybe in the future, we might do a throwback if they go through, I don't know, HR training to be more relatable, or not relatable, but like what's the term, like to be more socially acceptable, is that the word? Politically correct? Nah, I don't want to be politically correct, but there is a benefit to being mostly politically correct. It's definitely makes it a lot easier for you to be digestible by a larger audience, to not have to worry about if you need to censor yourself every 5 seconds. But that was one version of it. The other one was basically just what you get right now, except it was a younger version of me, with his voice still a little bit cracky and he had a lot on his mind, but he was trying his best for the sake of entertainment. And let me put it this way: he was a good kid back then. Little misunderstood. Um, his motivations may not have necessarily been in the right place, but in terms of his heart, I feel like his heart was on the right path. He just could have used a lot more assistance in life in finding a better sense of purpose in community. And then the last version of the videos was just music that I play in the background. I think I used to rip music from either Smash Brothers or Mario Kart because I felt like they wouldn't get copyright strike as often as other things that I put on there. But like YouTube was very different back then, mind you. It was like 15 years ago, so I don't know what my mindset was, but I thought I was going to get famous at some point in time. If I did think that, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if I did, while also maybe I would be a little surprised. Like it didn't feel like it was supposed to be a big thing for me at that point in time, but maybe it was. I don't know, but in case you're wondering, so we have Flick visiting today, and you can trade him 3 bugs for a commission. Now, someone's going to be pointing out, oh yeah, but Atlas, you can only do 1 commission per day. That is true, but you can also get Flick up to 52 times a year. Obviously going to be a little bit less because he's on the rotation, but if you don't have the bugs available, then you might not be able to. My main island, how did I miss Praying Mantis of all things? My main island, I have a bunch of the models that Flick makes, but I could definitely get more, and I just scared that one away entirely. But I got all the ones that I kind of really wanted. There's still a few that I could work at. And so what I'm trying this time around is maybe if I just catch all the bugs, like 3 of each bugs. We want 4 of each bug. We want the first one that goes to the museum, and then 3 more that we can eventually turn into a model. As long as we just have that stockpile of it, we'll get there eventually. I mean, mind you, we are going to have to create a checklist at some point so we can make sure that we're not getting doubles. And I didn't realize I have mail. We should probably check that mail real quick, yeah? Let's do that. Oh, it's just a Happy Room Academy. Gave me a little Prezi. I don't know why they gave me a present, considering I didn't really change anything. Like, why give me the present now? Like, oh, wait, no, they give you stuff to commemorate you getting a new room. That's what it is. I thought it was special for a second, but it's like, oh no, it's just you got a new room, so here, make it less ugly. Oh, thank you. But yep, that's more or less how it goes. So I ask again, what are the embarrassing parts of who we once were? Obviously, we are not you and me. We're 2 different people, but for me, it's the videos I used to make on the channel. They are embarrassing, but I'm not ashamed of them. And the only reason why I plan on removing them is basically for the sake of cleaning up the future presentation of the channel. But I'm not going to delete them. I'm just going to private them. They may come back one day, maybe they won't. But it's not that I'm so embarrassed that if anybody were ever to bring it up, that I would hide my face in public. And if they ever came up, somebody used like a Wayback Machine, or if they downloaded a catalog of the old Atlashine stuff, I'll laugh, I'll smile, and I'll reminisce with them. These are a part of who I once was, and one could argue they're still a part of who I am somewhere deep down inside. And quite frankly, they're just a step along the journey, and I would not have gotten to the point that I'm at right now if it weren't for the decisions I made back then. They might not have been the best decisions, but I'm happy with my life right now, so I could say that they did contribute to the best outcome. But that's how life works sometimes, right? I still hate banded dragonflies. Did he dust me? Oh, no, there he is. Oh, you for real? Bro, come back. I wish to catch thee. Oh, man. Quick thing to mention for you guys. Okay, so these guys are a lot easier to catch in this game than they were in the old games because they'll eventually fly out to the water, which makes it easier for you to actually catch them. In the original Animal Crossing game, they would zip across your screen, kind of like this, but they just zip right by, and you'd have to chase them across multiple screens. And if you did not catch them before they got to the edge of the map, like they got to a cliff, they'd fly up. If they got to the ocean, they'd fly off. Like there was no oh, as long as you can catch up to it before it gets to the water, that you'd be safe. No, it was just he's gone. If you didn't catch him when you had the chance, then you're not going to get him at all. And it was just a rough day trying to catch those suckers back then. But hey, I've completed the museum in the first game, so I could say I got there. But I think that's pretty much it for the most part. Next time you see me, guys, it'll be what's it called? October. Can you believe it? We're already in the home stretch, everybody. Imagine that we're gonna get through October. The weather's gonna start changing, start shifting, get cooler. Halloween's right around the corner. I think already guys told you all about my plans for that one. I'm not gonna have a stream on the day, but I am gonna make sure I have a nice premium upload for you guys. But beyond that, after that we're gonna have Thanksgiving, and then the holiday season's upcoming after that, and then a whole new year. And let me tell you something. If you're waiting for the new year to start your resolution, think about how much closer you would be if instead you did your New Year's resolution if you started now. I know, crazy concept, but imagine that. Imagine if you start your New Year's resolution right now. You'd be 3 months ahead of the curve. When the new year comes, you will be at the point that all your friends won't be able to match until they get to like the end of March, early April. Like, just think about that. Why start tomorrow? Why start tomorrow? What you can finish today? I can't remember how it goes, but why put it off? If life is just a series of steps, then every day you don't take a step is essentially the same as taking a step back. And if you can take a step today, like if you're planning on taking a step tomorrow, you might as well take a step today. And then what happens is find out that you got to wherever you're going like 2 steps ahead. I don't know. I'm just kind of out there right now. Anyway, you guys, you're fantastic. I love you all. God bless you. I'll see you guys on Thursday, and as always, we got our streams on Friday. And yeah, until then, I'll see you soon, and toodles.